Are we already Facebook Live?
Microphones up, Charlie.
Microphones are up.
International camera's on.
The international camera is on.
Okay, watch for the spinning now.
And thank you very much, folks, for tuning in to the council from all over the world. I'm your host, Charlie Pacello. We've got a very important, beautiful show coming on today. And we are just waiting for the other camera to turn on. In just a moment, we'll be getting started with a very, very special show. Good afternoon. Welcome to the council. I am your host, Charlie Pacello. We have got an incredible show today. We are thankful so much for every one of you who are tuning in today. Just really want to quickly announce a shout out to our sponsor, RE/MAX Alliance. RE/MAX Alliance is the best place. If you want to buy a home in Colorado, go to homesincolorado.com. That's homesincolorado.com. I know them personally. Tell them that you were listening to the show. Go in there if you want to buy a home, you want to sell a home, you want to find your dream home. These are the people that you have to go to. So go to RE/MAX Alliance, homesincolorado.com. This is a very important show. We're talking about the I Am, We Are movement that's being debuted today. And I can't help but think, as I had a chance to meet my guest today, about Anne Frank, who wrote, "How wonderful it is that nobody need wait a single moment before starting to improve the world." You know, there are things that happen in our life and we can't predict it, and they happen. Tragedies, traumas, but it's what we do with it. How can we impact it? How can we change the world by it? And naturally, we look to others who have come before us to serve as an example of what is possible when we can take what has happened to us and transform it into an instrument of good for the entire world. Many of the great men and women who have contributed the most to the betterment of our society have suffered through some kind of soul distress or trauma or tragedy. And regardless of what form it came in as, it was their personal trial, their moment in time when they would never be the same again. And for all intents and purposes, their old self died. Their greatness was birthed in the intense fires of transformation brought about by these trials. And today, we are immeasurably grateful for their great sacrifices and contributions. Some prime examples from the 20th century include Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, Anne Frank, Martin Luther King Jr., Rosa Parks, and Viktor Frankl. Now, Viktor Frankl was an Austrian neurologist and psychiatrist, as well as a Holocaust survivor. And on 25 September 1942, Frankl and his wife were deported to the Nazi concentration camps in Bohemia. His father, mother, and brother were also arrested. His father died of starvation. His mother and brother were later killed at Auschwitz in 1944. And his wife died at Bergen-Belsen in 1945. Only Frankl and his sister Stella survived, his sister having escaped to Australia before the Nazis began their implementation of their plans for the genocide of the Jews. Frankl endured unimaginable suffering and extreme loss in his life. And yet, he was still able to transform his traumas, his tragedies, his distress by his ability to find meaning in his experience. In his internationally famous book, Man's Search for Meaning, his personal account of being a concentration camp inmate, Frankl clearly articulates that even in the midst of extreme suffering, in the most absurd, painful, and dehumanizing situations, there still exists a potential to find meaning in the experience. And one particular episode changed him completely. His epiphany came to him while under the most grueling and harsh working conditions of the Nazi concentration camps. The inmates were stumbling in darkness. The guards were shouting and driving them like cattle, treating them like inhuman slaves, relentless and unmercifully cruel, hitting them with the butts of their rifles. And people were leaning on each other for support. And the wind was blowing ice cold against their lean, sallow faces, and hardly a word was spoken. There was a man standing next to Victor who was covering his mouth behind his collar like this, and he whispered to Victor, saying, "If our wives could just see us now. I do hope they are better off in their camps and don't know what is happening to us." Frankel thought about his wife, and though he was miles away, slipping on the ice and not knowing what was going to happen to him on that day, he clung to his wife's image, seeing every detail, her smile, her laughter, the way she supported him, and her encouraging look. And this image was more brilliant to him than the sun that was beginning to rise. And in that moment, Frankel learned this profound truth. The salvation of man is through love and in love. I understood how a man who has nothing left in this world still may know bliss, but if only for a brief moment, in the contemplation of his beloved. Now, Frankel recognized that there was one key difference to those who would survive and those who wouldn't: a vision for the future, be it significant or personal. Those that had a vision for the future, whether it was contemplating their beloved, their life's work, or things they still desired or wanted to experience, if given a chance to survive, they'd survive. But those who collapsed into the suffering, who had no meaning, who had no purpose to live, died. So he learned through his suffering that there was meaning to be gained from it, and that it doesn't matter what's happened to you. It's how you respond to it. Your attitude is everything. In Man's Search for Meaning, Frankel says this: "Everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way." And this falls very much in line with the philosopher Nietzsche said about man's will. Nietzsche believed that if a man has the why for his existence, he can endure just about anything. When you focus your attention on a vision for the future and connect to what brings value and meaning in your life, you give yourself the primary motivational force to overcome and transcend your suffering. Now, Frankel could very easily have used his experiences to remain in perpetual and constant suffering. He could have blamed his oppressors, the Nazis, attacked them, shamed them for murdering his family, and lived in anger and hatred for the rest of his life. But Frankel chose not to. Instead, he found meaning and purpose in his suffering. He personalized it, which neutralized the suffering and allowed him the space to transcend his pain and weave it into his life's work. Thus, ironically, his traumas and his tragedies became the essential ingredients that helped him to shape and develop his system called logotherapy. Logotherapy. The word logos is a Greek word, which has multiple meanings. It means word, spirit, meaning, God. And Frankel differed from Freud and Adler in that Freud thought pleasure and satisfaction were the driving forces behind man, while Adler thought it was power. Frankel saw the driving force of our existence as will to meaning, that we must give meaning to our lives in order to imbue them with purpose, fulfillment, and hope. In order for us to transcend our traumas, our tragedies, our challenges, and emerge greater than we were before, we must find the meaningfulness it has for our lives. We give meaning to everything. Nothing is meaningful, or everything is meaningful. And in those moments, Frankel could have been like the others and been looking at the wrongs that were being done to him, or that had been done to him. Instead, he utilized what was available to give his life meaning. Utilizing what's available in your trauma or your tragedy holds the opportunity to make the biggest transformation. In what way can you look at your traumas and your tragedies to see things differently? As human beings, we are responsible. We are responsible for how we are in this world. We are existentially responsible for the meaning of our own existence. You are responsible for the meaning you give to everything in your life. Everything. Those living without meaning, living in hopelessness and despair, must conjure up the courage to dig deep and make contact with that light within them. Now, what is this mysterious light that everyone's talking about? Is it an invisible light, a flame burning within? Or is it an idea or a feeling one has for one's own right to exist in love and freedom? Only you can answer that for yourself. You don't need to know anything beyond what lights you up. Now, Viktor Frankl had the image of his wife to light him up. For me, my challenge is I had my own life, my love of my own life and love of humanity to light me up. You've got something in there that may or may not be connected to the moment you are in that lights you up. And our traumas and our tragedies can show us where we need to look. It's not outside, but inside where we find that treasure. And there is someone here in this studio today who has found that treasure, that light within that burns so brightly in her little body, that has made a tragedy and turned it into a triumph and stands as a light for all of us to look at, to see how we can make our world a better place. So today on the council, we have some very special guests. Again, have taken this idea of tragedy and have turned it into a song, and now are bringing and debuting a movement that speaks to this very idea of the triumph of the human spirit in spite of the outer circumstances and situations in our lives. They all exemplify how we can turn our traumas and tragedies into something good that benefits the greater community and the entire world. It is with great humility and respect that I want to introduce to you Savannah Barish, Ayana, and TC. Thank you all for joining me today here on the council.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, you're quite welcome. And this is incredible. I think it's so important for everybody to get to know who you are, Savannah. If you don't mind, go ahead and quickly sharing your story to the audience.
Yeah, so I was in a head-on car crash in July of 2015 that left me paralyzed from the neck down.
Wow. And how did that, how you were dancing before, right? You were a dancer before. What, when you realized that you could no longer dance, how were you able to transform that into something good?
Because I knew I didn't want to be sad all the time.
Yeah.
I wanted to be happy and live my life to what it was now.
And that's so inspiring. TC, you've been on the program before.
Yeah.
Could you briefly tell us a little bit how you came about together to start sharing Savannah's story out to the world, and what brought you to the idea of writing and composing and arranging this musical score and song that you prepared?
Yeah, when I heard about Savvy's story, it touched me in a way because I didn't go through nothing to the extent of what she went through. But as a 15-year-old boy, I had both my kneecaps broken.
Mm-hmm.
I had to learn how to walk all over again, and the Forrest Gump braces. I had those on. I had those braces and everything. So, like I said, my story was nothing like her story.
Mm-hmm.
And I was a 15-year-old boy when it happened, and I always used to ask the question, "Why me? Why me?" So when I heard Savvy's story, and for this to happen to a 9-year-old little girl, and she never uttered the words "Why me?" Instead, she's out being positive. She's encouraging other people to do great things. She's designing gowns for everyone on the hospital wing of the Church Memorial Hospital floor. And, when I got wind of that story, it touched me in a way because, like I said, I was a 15-year-old boy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I didn't have the mindset as a 15-year-old boy to say, let me be positive for someone else. I just was like, why did this happen to me?
Yeah.
So when I heard her story, it touched me. And at that time, I was talking to my wife about doing music for my daughter who's been singing all her life. And when I heard the story, I asked to meet with her and her mom. And, we talked about the same thing we're talking about now. How did she get to this point? How she felt about what happened. And I asked to record her voice on my phone, saying some of the encouraging words she said to the other kids.
Mm-hmm.
So when you hear the song Savannah and you hear Savannah saying, be kind, be strong, be positive, be awesome,
Yeah.
I recorded that on my phone when I first met her. So the song, the music video, everything, what we're doing right now,
Mm-hmm.
it all started from Savvy. And the first words we had for the whole entire project was her words.
Wow.
I wrote the chorus, I wrote the hook, I wrote the song, and produced the track.
Mm-hmm.
And I uploaded her voice off my phone into the computer. So that's how you got Ayana Savannah featuring Savannah Barish.
Right.
And that's how we get to this point.
That's amazing. And you were the author of it. That was the first words that you said was, be kind, be strong, and
Yeah. Be positive.
be kind, be strong, and be positive.
And be awesome.
And be,
Yeah.
I love that.
where did you get this? What was it inside of you that just, I think of Anne Frank. Here she was, living in that circumstances there. What inspired you to have that?
Actually, someone I never met, who would be my grandma,
Mhm.
she got cancer and was given 6 months to live. So she made the most of every day, and she lived 3 years. So I thought if she could do that, then I could do anything.
Wow. Wow, that's
It's
amazing.
amazing. I love it.
That is, and we all have to have those people who inspire us in our lives, whether it's a grandma, whether it's a mentor, coach, or someone like something like Viktor Frankl, who's somebody who I look up to and admire. We all have to see people who've been able to overcome these kinds of challenges and have turned it into gold. We have to turn that lead into gold. We have to be able to transform that and move that in a different direction, because we can all become, limited by it, right? Isn't that what you feel? What?
Well, yeah, because every diamond you see comes from gold. So all the darkness that you're going through, it just helps you see the light better.
Isn't that true? It's the light. If you light a candle in the darkness, right, it shines and the darkness goes away. It really, really goes away. Just want to make a quick station announcement. We are broadcasting from KUHSdenver.com. That's KUHSdenver.com, broadcasting the most amazing shows, bringing music all over the world. Tuning in to KUHSdenver.com is the place to be. And so we thank all of you who are tuning in right now, listening to this incredible story of Savannah Barish and how she can inspire us to live better and healthier and wiser lives. Ayana, I would like to introduce you to the world here. Ayana is a young, beautiful girl right here who's an amazing voice. We're going to hear her voice singing here shortly. Can you tell us just a little bit about, to the audience, your story a little bit and why you wanted to be a singer and an artist?
I think it's because of the way I grew up. So I grew up in the church, so I saw the people singing there, and I was like, I want to do that. So they put me in the kids choir. But not only did I grow up in the church, it's also because of this man right here, my dad. He'd be working on music, and I'd be bouncing off the couch, but he never noticed, and I was really like, what is he doing? And so once I got older, I got more passionate about it, and my dad was like, let's go, come to the studio, and this is how Savannah started.
So you always had a passion for singing. You always wanted to sing, and when your voice is incredible. So how long have you been singing professionally for?
Well, I've been singing since I've been able to talk,
Uh-huh.
but professionally since I was about 13.
Oh, okay. Well, I understand that you're going to be singing. We're going to bring that up here shortly about where she's going to be singing here in Denver sometime in just a few weeks here. And you have a very powerful message for young people. And I really would love for you to kind of tell the audience here what young people are really going through, teenagers and the world that they live in and the messages that they're receiving from the music that they get, and what is the message behind your music that makes you different, and what do you hope the audience gets from it?
Well, my message is basically what it's like to grow up as a teen, but coming from a teen. So most music you hear today is from 30-year-olds or 20-year-olds. I'm actually 15 and I'm going through all the same stuff. But I'm not going to talk about it in like a negative way. I'm going to try my best to spread all the positivity in the world that I can.
Well, that's so beautiful. And so that's, you know, if we don't have enough positivity out there, I mean, there's so many different things that teenagers are constantly, there's a lot of distractions, there's a lot of, you know, you can be pulled two different ways. You know, you can be pulled towards the light or you can be pulled towards the dark, right? And there's a lot of that, especially with the internet, especially with the phones and all the things that are going on. It's really important. We've got to have those kinds of positive messages to be able to share with people so that we know that people give the option that, you know what, I can choose a different life. That every life, every moment is a choice. Every moment that we make is a choice. We could choose to be our higher, beautiful selves, right? Or we can choose to fall into that lower, darker self. And so we've got to make those kinds of choices. And we got to make the right ones. And we got to teach our children how to do that. We got to have children, kids who are promoting that, who give other kids an option for that. So grateful for that. TC, how long have you been working on this project, Savannah, that we're going to be showing here in just a few minutes?
This project is about 1.5 years in the making.
Mhm.
We've been working on it for a while, and you know, it was supposed to be the first single we released. It's actually the third single and the second music video we released. And the reason why it's taking so long, you know, the importance behind this record, the importance behind this movement, it's very important, and I wanted to give it my best.
Mm-hmm.
Like the music video, Savannah, that's my second music video ever directing.
Mm.
And I want it to be right. I want the music to be right. I reproduced the track 3 different times before I brought one of my in-house producers, Rob, in to jump on and help me finish the track out.
Mm-hmm.
Because it has to be perfect. And we have a production team under our company, and I want it to be right. So it's about 1.5 years in the making, you know, a lot of small parts here and there. And everything we do, you know, we're not sitting on a boatload of money. We work a full-time job. So outside of
It's a
what
true
comes with
artist
a full-time
spirit,
job,
yeah.
you know, we invest into ourselves. That's why we're 100% independent. And anyone that knows about putting music together, music videos, recording, the whole 9 yards, you know, the details, you know, of what that takes. And it's hard when you're working a full-time job and you're doing music full-time. So it's like you're basically working 2 jobs, but you're only getting paid from one, and you're investing into the other.
Right,
you know,
yeah,
so
yeah, of course.
it was 1.5 years, you know, in the making. You know, we hit a lot of bumps in the road, but we're here. You know, I mean, if it, you know, it said I can say it's late, but God says right on time.
And it's usually God's timing, which is the right time. So, well, I think it's just an incredible, you know, incredible accomplishment for all of you to working together to making this such a possibility and to having, you know, such a positive message that you're reaching out and try to give to the world and to give out to all of our communities. Is there anybody, Savannah, that you would like to meet?
Probably Ellen.
Probably Ellen. Ellen, if DeGeneres, Ellen, if you are watching this right now, or if anybody, Ellen, you would like to meet Ellen?
Yeah.
What do you love about Ellen?
She's just so positive.
She's just so positive?
Yeah.
Well, she is. She's very positive. I think she's incredible. I think she's just such a. And hopefully Ellen will be watching the show, and we'll be able to bring you out to California and Los Angeles somewhere, so that you can even bring your story into an even larger audience. Have you watched Ellen for a long time?
Yeah.
Yeah. What is your favorite thing to do?
Dance, probably.
Yeah. Yeah. And is it? Do you still have that dancer spirit in you? And
I
moving
think
it?
so.
Yeah.
I think so. I just got to do it a different way.
Oh.
Yeah,
Ah,
so I tell people what I'm thinking instead of showing them.
that's brilliant. So you tell people what you're thinking instead of showing them?
Yeah.
Yeah. And is, you know, how do you do that when somebody says, you know, you love a dance? How do you describe it? Do you?
It's a feeling you get when you just listen to certain type of music, that it makes you just feel at peace with everything that's happening or happened.
What's your favorite music?
Probably, I like all sorts of different things.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably a lot of stuff.
That's great. You're so inspiring. You're incredibly. I mean, to have that kind of tenacity and inner strength of spirit at such a young age is incredible. I mean, it would be so easy. It would be so easy for all of us in your situation that happened, to have a life-changing, life-altering event, to just give up, to just not have any kind of motivation for life or any kind of feeling that your purpose and meaningfulness that we were talking about earlier. And I mean, to have that kind of strength is amazing.
Yeah, because like I think it happened to me because I was supposed to share my story. I was supposed to help people feel better about who they are and to love just the way they are.
That's well, I think you're already doing that right now, sweetie. I think you're doing it. It's you're being here, and the light that shines from your eyes, and that beautiful smile and it's so cheerful. You can't help but feel inspired by it and touched by it deeply.
Thank you.
Well, I want to ask Ayana, is there a particular singer that you admire and that you look up to, and why?
Well, she's not living, but Nina Simone definitely.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Her music has touched so many people and made so many things, but she kept it real. She talked about stuff that she didn't like, but she didn't talk about it like a negative way, but she did. And she made really good music while doing it. So it's like you could be listening to a song and not really know what she really meant by it, but then like once you listen to the lyrics, you're like, wow, Nina.
Well, and I think that if you stay in alignment with that, you're going to be that same kind of artist. And sharing that same kind of music out to the world is so brilliant. It's really brilliant.
Thank you.
Now, do you think kids your age are missing something in the music? What do you think that they're missing?
I think we're missing a positive role model.
Yeah.
Because what we see is adults doing adult things, and we're like, we can do that, but then we're like, they're also 10 years older than us. So I'm going to be the positive image that they can see and look up to, because I don't want kids to start thinking that we're all adults and growing up too fast when we shouldn't be growing up too fast.
No, we shouldn't. No, you should be kids, right? You should be teenagers and doing those kinds of things and exploring the world around you and being able to explore different aspects of your identity and being able to sing, and dance and do and act and perform and do all those things, right?
Yeah.
So we are just about to. Just one more question for you, Ayana. When you heard about Savannah's story, what went through your mind? And as you and your father decided to produce this song together?
Savannah was an entire wake-up call for me because I'm a diabetic, and once I heard about her story, I was like, oh wow, I'm a terrible human, because I always would say every single day, why me? I don't deserve this. I didn't do nothing wrong.
Right.
And I see Savannah and I'm like, Savannah's paralyzed journey. You can walk, you can eat, you can do all these things, and you're not doing anything with it. And Savannah's sharing this positive story, and you're like, what are you doing? Staying at home watching TV. So she was my wake-up call. She was like, you need to start doing something. Get your music out there. Say positive things that can like change the world.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that is such an important thing to reiterate, that we can often feel sorry for ourselves. We can often feel victimized. We have a victim consciousness in the culture, and we can let the littlest things affect us. We can have just a word, just something a word that somebody says that's like a feather, and it just it breaks us down. It defeats us, and we start to wallow in self-pity. We start to wallow in that place. And self-pity will often compete with self-esteem. And so we can go ahead and we're just, we have to focus on what's really important. And when you see a story where someone who is paralyzed, and is able to have such an incredibly bright outlook on life, positive outlook on life, to be able to share her spirit out with the world, and to being kind, to be strong, and to, what's the last part?
Be positive.
Be positive
And awesome.
and awesome. I mean, how can you not take that into your life and start saying, wait a second, what have I been doing? What have I been doing that I've been procrastinating on, or I've been holding myself back on? Because the only person who's making your decisions is you. There's nobody else up here. Nobody else is in your mind telling you you can't do something, you can't be who you want to be, you can't do the things that you want to do. There's nobody else in charge of your ship. You are in charge of that. And you can either wallow in that self-pity, or you can cross that bridge, and you can make that choice to say, I'm going to do everything in this life to give all the positive that I can and make a difference in this world. So, we are broadcasting live on KUHSdenver.com. That's KUHSdenver.com. Broadcasting this incredible show, and about to listen now to the song Savannah. So I just would like to clue in the engineer and the station engineer to go ahead and start the video, and we'll go ahead and listen to the song that has just been released.
Beautiful 11-year-old girl. She loves to dance, but now she can't even move her arms and legs. In fact, she can't move anything from her neck down. This is Savannah before a car accident in 2015 left her spinal cord severely damaged. She is now quadriplegic, and she still loves to dance. Savannah, what is your advice to other young boys and girls out there who might be facing similar health challenges?
Well, you have the choice to be positive or negative, and you should choose positive because there's still a lot of chance of doing the things you love.
Oh, 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 oh. You wanna break, the days get longer, and life is a battle, but still get shorter. You just wanna fall, feel like you could crumble. Your world's out of standstill. Got no one to call. Remember your heart. The shine from the sun. Your world is still spinning. Your life just begun. You gotta be strong. You gotta be kind. You gotta be positive. Gotta be up. You gotta be strong. You gotta be kind. Gotta be positive. Gotta be up. I am Savannah. He is Savannah. She is Savannah. We are Savannah. I am Savannah. He is Savannah. She is Savannah. We are Savannah. I'm going to win. He's going to conquer. She's gonna strive, deserving every single encore. We all have our days, and enemies still shine. Whenever we fall off, talking every single time we get back up. We run through the fire, even when we're tired. Remember we are. You gotta be strong. You gotta be kind. You gotta be positive. Gotta be up. You gotta be strong. You gotta be kind. You gotta be positive. Gotta be up. I am Savannah. He is Savannah. She is Savannah. We are Savannah. I am Savannah. He is Savannah. She is Savannah. We are Savannah. Today is the day we all stand upraise. Together we are strong. Today is the day we all stand upraise. Together we are strong. Oh, today is the day we all stand and rise. Together we are strong. I am the we are the
It costs nothing to be kind. That being said, I am. We are Savannah. Cut! That's right! What does that mean?
Savannah Barish,
Wow.
11-year-old girl.
That was amazing. That was really amazing. Wow. I'm moved. I'm touched very deeply by it. Wow, such a strong and powerful message, and just really so. You humble me. You humble me.
She's amazing.
Yeah, really amazing. You are truly amazing. I hope everybody watching this is really taking note. Beautiful voice. My goodness. Really incredible voice. So powerful. It so strong in the message. And it's debuting today. It just been released, right? Could you guys share where people can, all the information about the video and all the proceeds, where it's going to, so that people can know who are tuning in right now?
The video, Savannah is Ayana. Savannah featuring Savannah Barish is available right now on YouTube. Ayana Ice is our social media page, Facebook.
Yes,
and YouTube channel, Ayana Ice.
So Ayana Ice, what's Facebook
Facebook and YouTube.
Facebook and YouTube. That's where you can get it from, right?
Yep.
Ice Ayana's Instagram, because the reach clips on the video on there too.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And the song itself is available on all streaming sites. I mean, Pandora, Spotify, Tidal, Apple Music, Google Music. Any way you can stream music, you can stream Ayana Savannah featuring Savannah Barish.
Wow, that's so great. And
50% of the proceeds go directly to Savannah. Anything we get from the video or the song itself, it goes directly to Savannah. So we're definitely pushing for that, you know.
okay, so 50% of the proceeds of everybody who purchases the song and goes to it online goes to Savannah, right? And to help with all of the
Just life in
just
general.
life in general.
Everything
All the
she's
things
dealing
that
with.
go on. Yeah.
You know, it's to help continue to give her a voice, continue to put her in a position to have a platform to continue speaking to the youth. So I mean, I think it's amazing, and it's, you know, at the state of what we're dealing with in this country right now, it's much needed.
So,
You know, and I mean, I feel like regardless of, you know, if it reach 1 million people and only one person get what they need to get out of it, job well done.
oh, I think you've done that already. For a lot more people that are tuning into the show, we have over 100,000 that are listening in, and I think that You certainly touched all of them who are tuning into the show today.
Thank you.
Thank you. There is a foundation as well. Yes.
Yeah. So I have my own foundation
Uh-huh.
named Sassy Savvy Gowns for kids in Children's Hospital to wear cute and bright colored hospital gowns rather than just the ones.
So it's a Sassy Savvy Gowns. So that is Savannah's foundation as well, and it helps.
Kids feel better just being with their favorite cartoons on their gowns.
So get their cartoons on their gowns, and it helps with Children's Hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, these are incredible people, amazing people with their giving and contributing to the world. And so we are also debuting on the show today. We are launching the I Am, We Are movement.
Yes.
Could you all explain together? You can what this is, what it is, and why it's so important.
Yeah, it's when I was doing the final stages of editing the video Savannah, and I was watching at the end how we got the group of people saying I am, we are Savannah. And what the video does, it creates dialogue for conversation. You know, it shows you what we should do.
Mm-hmm.
And the I am, we are movement, it creates action.
Mm-hmm.
And we want to simplify it as much as possible to where anyone can do it. You can take an old t-shirt. It could be a Sharpie marker, a pen, pencil, whatever you write on the shirt. It don't make a difference. And you write, we're all wearing a shirt today, and you write, I am, we are, and I have TC, senior on mine.
Right.
But you write, I am, we are, you draw a line, and
Uh-huh.
you go out there and you do something kind. Be nice. It could be anything. It's totally your choice. If you just pick up the phone and call and give someone some encouraging words, it don't matter. The I Am We Are movement, it's a call to action to
Mhm.
get out and do. Get out and be a part. Right now, we're wearing the I Am We Are movement shirts with our names on it because this is our movement. This is our call to action. This is us participating.
Mm-hmm.
And in addition, we're debuting a celebrity challenge as well. We want celebrities to take part in the I Am We Are movement and lead by example. And you being the first celebrity, we have a shirt for you. Because you giving us this platform is within itself. You doing your part. So this is your shirt for you to put your name on it.
Oh, wow.
Right on the line, and you are the very first celebrity
Yes.
for the celebrity challenge in the I Am We Are movement.
Wow, thank you so much. I will do this. It's the I Am We Are movement, and I Am We Are Charlie.
Put your name on the line. Go out and do something kind, do something nice. It don't matter what if it's feeding the homeless, or if it's just picking up the phone, calling a loved one you haven't spoke to in years. Whatever it is.
Yeah.
And what I love about it is like you have all the different movements, you have all the different things going on right now. You have the Me Too movement, you have all these other things going on. And what this movement does is it brings everyone together.
Yeah.
It don't matter who you are, it don't matter what your religious background is, it don't matter what your race, your gender, it makes no difference. It could be the biggest racist person in the world.
Uh-huh.
I'm sure someone within that one race you believe in, if you're a racist person, need to hear something kind, need to hear something positive, needs uplifting. If that's you, if you're that person, go out there and be something and do something for someone within that race. So, like I said, this movement, it brings everyone together.
Mm-hmm.
Not one person. You know, everybody's a part of this movement, and I love it. I think it's amazing.
I think it's incredible, and I'm honored to be a part of it now. So thank you.
And it's going to be huge, and you're the first celebrity with the celebrity challenge. We're asking all celebrities to step up and lead by example.
And I'll call on everybody, the celebrities that are watching this, to follow this lead and to take on the I Am We Are movement. And it is getting a shirt, taking a marker, putting I Am We Are and your name, and then going out and doing something kind. Simple. It's an act of kindness has a ripple effect and goes all across the world. It touches everybody. People just watching kindness, a kind act that's happening, are touched by it. They're moved by it. They're affected by it.
Yes.
It expands, it spreads. And in a world right now where we feel so much tension and conflict, we need to add and contribute our kindness to the world. And this is an incredible movement to be able to start bringing our communities together. And that's where you do it. We don't change the world on these big scales. We change it in our communities.
Yes.
We change it in our cities. We change it in our neighborhoods. We change it when we walk out that door, when we wake up in the morning or going to work or at work, and we decide I'm gonna be in kindness today. I'm gonna live in integrity. We are part of the Savannah movement.
Yes.
And we are right, and we're gonna be strong. We're gonna be kind.
Be positive and be awesome.
Be kind, be positive, and be awesome. That's what we're going to be.
That's what it is.
And it's calling on everybody to follow it. You know that it's so simple. And the more people that are doing it, we are multiplying kindness by exponentially, by millions. And we start doing that. We start seeing our neighbors going that across. We start connecting to each other again. We start listening to each other again. We start hearing each other again. We start seeing that these people, everybody has the same kind of feelings and hopes and aspirations for their lives. And they really, at the core of us, we all want really the same things. We really do, right? We all want to have a happy life, right? And we want to have love in our life, and we want to be treated with kindness and respect, and we want to be able to have fun and good times with the people we love and we care about. We want to live in a safe world and a peaceful world, and we want to have a means to be able to provide for our families. And that's what we all want, the same things,
Yeah,
really.
and you never know who needs to hear that message.
Yeah.
You never know who needs to hear some encouraging words. You could save someone's life by just telling them, I love you.
Yeah.
You're great. You can save someone's life just from those words. I mean, depression is real.
Mm-hmm.
Depression is real, and a lot of people suffer from depression. And if we can all just take part and do what we can do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm talking starting from ground zero. Let's do what we can do.
That's right.
And we can't do no more than what we can do, and just move it forward. Spread it out. I mean, it's so much hate, man. Spread it out. We need love. Spread it out.
Oh
We
my
need
gosh.
everyone to take part in it.
We do, and it starts right with you. It starts with you, and it begins right there in your heart, and finding that place within you that says, you know what, I'm connected to everybody. I don't know how I am, but I'm connected to everybody, and I've got to start looking at it in a different way. I got to recognize that there's not that much difference between me and everybody else on this planet. And though they may have their uniqueness, their unique diversity, and their unique cultures, and their unique societies, and their unique ways of worshiping God and doing all these things, but at the very core, you are fundamentally the same. That there's something there. The soul has no religion. The soul is so much bigger. And when you hear the story of Savannah, and you've heard it today, man, everybody, please tap into your hearts. Find that place inside of you. Bring kindness into the world, and allow yourself to just set aside those differences that you think you have, and really look at the things that we all have in common. All right?
Yeah.
What kind of a message do you want to send out to the world right now? If you had an opportunity to say something to all the little girls out there and all the kids out there that are watching today and hearing you, what is something that you would want to share with them?
Just enjoy your life, because right now it's what it is, and if you're not happy about it, then change it.
So true. If you're not happy about it, change it. Right? What are your dreams? What kind of dreams do you have now for your?
I want to work in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to have my own family,
Yeah.
and I just want to have a happy life still.
That's so beautiful. You are such an inspiration, and it's incredible. And
Thank you.
Ayana, what you have so much that you want to achieve, and I know that you're just about to launch your career here in a few days. Can you share with everybody where you're going to be performing at, and how they could come watch you sing.
I will be performing at the Roxy Theater on August 24th. It starts at 6:30 and ends at 11:30, I'm pretty sure. The tickets are on
I have a notepad.
aftonshows.com. Oh, AFTON, aftonshows.com/Ayana, IYANNA. That's me. Yes. And the tickets are $10 if you use the code Ayana547. I know it's a little pricey, but this face is priceless.
Well, that's so great. Yeah, now, is it just your show? Is it?
There's other people performing,
Uh-huh.
but we're going to have a good time. We're going to perform a few songs, including Savannah, that will definitely be performed.
Savannah will be in the building.
Yes, she will.
Wow, that's so
Oh,
great.
and, she's also debuting a new song titled "Bullying."
Oh, yeah.
And it's about being bullied in school and stuff. So she has a lot of positive records. I mean, her whole album is about positive stuff. And the song "Bullying" is amazing. It's about anyone that's going through bullying.
Wow.
So I mean, she's going to debut and perform that song on the 24th.
Wow, that's so important because so many teenagers, so many kids go through bullying.
I was one of them.
Oh, you were one of
That's
those.
where the song came from, because I've been bullied all my life for the most, like, not important things, but it took effect to me, and it would, like, get me down. So we made a song about it, and that's where I put all my, like, creative juices about how I felt about it.
Yeah, yeah.
So the song is about, like, I have been bullied, but I'm here, I'm fine, and you didn't break me down.
And you know, that's so important to get to kids to understand that you don't have to be broken down by people who are coming at you and wounding you because they're wounded or something else is going on inside of them, and to take that higher ground and to not let them destroy you. That spirit, that soul that's within you is stronger than anything that anybody else can do. And if you can tap into that, then you can give other teenagers comfort knowing that they don't have to let the bullies win.
Yeah,
Right?
it definitely helps having her able to sing about that, because then it proves that no one's alone in bullying, because that's what I hear about is like they feel so alone.
Mhm.
So having a song that just addresses that helps being like, no, I'm not the only person going through this.
Yeah.
Never alone, I'm here.
Never alone. That's it. You have a lot of friends and support.
Yeah, I got great support systems.
Great support. What's the best? What is your favorite thing to do with your friends?
Go shopping.
Go shopping. Of course.
Yeah,
That's so good.
yeah, just be like usual teenagers and
Yeah.
gossip and stuff like
Yeah. Folks, we are just almost done here. I just want to kind of get some inspiration from all of you before we close out the show today. You are listening to this on KUHSdenver.com. That's KUHSdenver.com. We are broadcasting all over Colorado, the nation, and the world. We are leading the way out there in programs and music, and just tune in to KUHSdenver.com. It's the place to be. I would like to ask all of you to give your one piece. I think I've already asked you, but if you want to give it again, your one piece of advice, your one piece of wisdom that from your life experience that you would want to be able to share with everybody who's listening in right now. You could say something today that can make all the difference in a person's life.
Well, I would probably say, like, no matter how hard people try, they can't take away your choice to be happy. So you just gotta find that way to be happy, because then everything else changes.
Can't beat that. Greatest wisdom.
Oh yeah.
That's the greatest wisdom. Thank you.
Thank you.
My message would be to keep going. No matter what you think is impossible, it's possible. If you don't have enough money, if you're too tall, too short, big, wide, it doesn't matter. Keep going, because eventually you'll make it. I'm 15 and I'm here, so keep going.
Great advice. Great. It's great wisdom as well. Thank you. TC.
My thing will be a couple things within itself. It's patience. Be patient.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'm speaking directly to myself because I'm always rushing. I'm always trying to I need to do this, that, and I'm always trying to be, 2 blocks ahead of the guy that's 2 steps ahead of the game.
Mhm.
And I got to tell myself to be patient. Normally my wife's telling me, but I listen. So be patient. And things will come. Be patient. Make smart decisions. When you're patient, you make smart decisions.
Mhm.
When you rush, you make some smart decisions, some bad decisions, and the wrong bad decision can mess you up, can push you back for years. Yeah. So
It all goes back down. It all goes back to choices.
yeah.
It really does. It all goes back to the choice that we have in our life. Right?
Yep.
Just like one of my favorite quotes, which is, "Nothing is impossible." The word itself says, "I'm possible." So you just gotta look at it from a different perspective,
Yeah.
and then everything's possible.
You are amazing. Oh my
Thank
gosh. Incredible.
It's awesome.
That's right. Nothing is impossible. It's
Savvy should have her own
I'm
talk show.
possible. I'm possible. That's brilliant. You can come on this show anytime, and we'll co-host together.
It'd be fun.
Folks, thank you so much for coming and sharing this incredible story. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
So beautiful. All of you, such beautiful, beautiful message and work that you are giving out to the world. And please, for everybody out there, let's continue this. Let's take action in doing the I am, we are movement, grabbing a t-shirt, putting on I am, we are in your name, and then going out into the world and doing something kind for somebody just for the sake of doing it. It's an act of kindness without any expectation for anything in return. Spread love, spread kindness, spread goodness. Be kind, be strong.
Be positive, be awesome.
There we go. Let's see if we can do a co-host. It's
There you go.
folks, thank you so much for tuning in to the council today. We'll be back in 2 weeks to come back with another great show. The show wouldn't be possible without each and every one of you who tune in. I'm so honored. Our numbers are continue to go up, and we will continue to bring you the best programs we possibly can bring here on the council. Thank you, folks. I am your host, Charlie Pacello, and the council is adjourned. May you be well. May you be free of pain and suffering. May you be whole. God bless. Okay. All right. Great.
Hey.
Great show.
Great show, guys. Great show. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful show. You're amazing. Thank you. Thank you for being such an inspiration. Oh, anytime. You're always welcome. And I want to follow your story and follow her and share and be able to spread and help out.
You've got your Instagram account, you've got your own Facebook account. So it's all out there. Than Instagram.
Mhm.
I navigate Facebook better than I do Instagram. I'm getting there.
Wow. Well, it's just, I think it's incredible. To have that kind of strength that you have is incredible.
Yeah. I think I kind of found it when I realized I'd be on the ventilator. And I realized how air is so light, no one really sees it or appreciates it, but we can't live without it.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be the air for people's happiness.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Oh, I wish we could have that on there.
International, did you get that?
I just pushed stop the record
And the string.
and the stream. Oh, it's still streaming right now?
Yes, sir.
Oh, look. All right. See you, folks. Thank you very much. I will see you in 2 weeks. All right. Well.